Wel- Welcome to Teacher Chronicles, the podcast exploring the transformative power of education and AI. I'm Kim, your narrator, and today, I have the pleasure of introducing a truly remarkable educator, Suzette Morrison Curtis. Suzette is a beacon of knowledge and inspiration with over 8 years of dedicated service in education. She has significantly advanced traditional teaching methods by integrating artificial intelligence, earning numerous accolades for her innovative approaches. Beyond traditional education, Suzette is an esteemed AI coach. She guides educators and institutions in using AI to revolutionize teaching and learning, demonstrating its power in personalizing learning experiences, improving student engagement, and streamlining administrative tasks. So, without further ado, let's dive into today's episode of Teacher Chronicles. Get ready to be enlightened, engaged, and inspired by Suzette Morrison Curtis. Welcome.
All right. So thank you for coming. This is episode 2 of Teacher Chronicles. It's basically a new podcast that I have online, giving persons the opportunity to see the insights of teaching in a classroom setting with technology. As you heard, my accolades being spoken by one of my AI-driven avatars introducing me to the channel. I am going to be going through some small things tonight, topical issues. We won't spend the whole night tonight because it's my first podcast. So I want to kind of try out different things. So we're going to start off with a little presentation that I put together. I hope you're seeing it on screen. Let me go back to the first slide so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So we're going to be looking at some things, and the things that we're going to be looking at is on screen. The resources needed to make teaching fun in the era of AI. Persons hear about this type of thing and they may say, what AI can do for me, aside from me being a teacher, what AI can do for me. There are so many things that AI can do, and we'll be going through some of that tonight. So let's see how much we can go through. Now, these are the topical issues that we're going to be looking at. What artificial intelligence is and its significance in today's world. Many people ask this question, and I say many, meaning there are so many other things that they can look at. But I believe, and it's my option, I believe that AI has its significance in education today. Gone are the days that the traditional talking on the chalkboard has made its relevance. Now we're going into the revolution of 21st century. So the things are a little bit different. So we'll look at what it is and how it fits into today's world. Tools that can be used in education today. There are many tools. I'll be looking at some. There are so much. If I don't have the time to do all of them tonight, but there are so many. What are some benefits and challenges that are of using AI in an educational landscape? There are limitations and there are beneficial opportunities as it relates to AI in the classroom. One of the things that I can tell you is that you have to learn how to use the tool. And I'm using tool loosely because AI is a tool. It's just a large language model that is created to make work for you a little bit more fancy, efficient, and effective. And we're going to look at something that came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Most persons have already gotten the use of it. I have used it. Is ChatGPT, not just the regular ChatGPT that everybody is aware of. It's ChatGPT 4.0. So I'll be showing you something that it can do tonight and what it means to educators. It doesn't take away your work, but it makes work a little bit more fundamental, more trendy, so to speak, what does young person say? Trending. All right. And then if there's any question and answers that are on spot, I'll answer. If not, we'll have a wrap tonight. Do remember that this streaming is coming from live from StreamYard. It's a software that I found very relevant and kind of give me some power on what I need to do. If you need to use it in any way, you can send a DM to me on my channel and I'll send you a link for it. All right. They're not paying me to do it, but I find that it makes my life a little bit more easier. All right. So let's go. So many people may ask the question, what is AI? AI, or artificial intelligence, refers to what? The simulation of human intelligence in machines that are designed to think and act like humans. It's transformative technology that impacts various industries, including education. In a small subject, it's basically instructions given by you, interpreting what you want and placing it on screen based on instructions by an algorithm. We won't go into the technical things tonight as it is when it relates to algorithms, but I will make sure that you will understand what I'm saying when I use some of the things on the demonstration. Now, types of AI or artificial intelligence that are used in today's educational world. These are some. I'll just speak on some. You can tell me if you have already used it, how you've used it, how is it for you, right? So Gemini is one. Most persons know it as Google Bard. Came out last year, trending this year, has made significant railroads in terms of utilization. It's very user-friendly. You have to sign up with your Google account and it gives you an avenue to express yourself. It's a large language model just like ChatGPT. And it's connected to the internet as well. It has a paid package as well as a free user package. So you can try it out. Also, ChatGPT, many persons have used it, been around. It has evolved now to 4.0, which is the new version that is actually being put out now. It's used in various integrations right now. So you may not even know that you're using it, but it's out there. Just like every other, you sign up with an account and you are able to give instructions based on a prompt. Prompt meaning instructions, what you want it to do, right? It's large language model just like every other, and it will give out information based on instruction and prompts given. Copilot, it's based on ChatGPT or GPT-4, and it's also a large language model that basically gives you information provided from the net as well. You sign up with a Microsoft account and you get the opportunity to use it at your disposal. Now, Quillbot been around for a while. It's just like any other paraphrasing software that gives you the opportunity to look at what you're speaking and make it more persuasive, more dynamic, more engaging. It's used by many students as well as educators, persons, not just in the teaching industry, but overall. It's a very good tool to use. You sign up with your account by using any email account, and then you'll be able to glance through the other options that they have. Perplexia is the next one. I use this very heavily. It gives you the autonomy to make decisions on things in real life time, meaning it provides resources that you can use in a manner that you never knew you could. If you have not started using it, I'm telling you, it's one that you need to use. All right. Now, the other tool is Grammarly, and most persons have used Grammarly before, I can tell you. Very good tool to use. Actually, I'm going to show you that it's used profusely by many persons who are trying to structure their articulations, trying to get things done perfectly with that one research or that one document. Grammarly is the one that you need to go to. No, seeing that what you can do, meaning all those AI tools, I'm going to show you this article. It's actually from let me go back. It's actually from a CNN feed. I will put the feed in the actual description so you can actually read it. It's basically telling us that AI is out there and persons are using it. This teacher used it to grade her students' assignments. Persons may say they have concerns about it because what it is that the actual tool is doing is actually reading the things and making notation on the gaps that they're finding in the assignments. There are shortcomings in terms of what this can do, but we're looking in the 21st century and we're saying to ourselves, what can we do to make our life a little bit more better? This teacher tried it, and it worked for her because she was able to pick up on gaps on students in her classroom that were slow, so to speak, and never got the gist of the topic. If you have a student in your class and you're not able to connect with them, the tools such as ChatGPT can be able to create what you call evaluations that you can give to a student based on their study pattern. You can give them information, you can give them topics to research on. And based on what they give you back, you can analyze if they have grasped the concept, right? So there are many other opportunities and ways that you can use these tools, such as ChatGPT and others, to dynamically engage your students in the classroom. And we'll go through some in this presentation. Now, why must we embrace this? A lot of persons ask me this question. You're advocating for something that may take away your job. And I'm saying to them, it's not going to take away my job, because last year I took the opportunity to educate myself on what it is that these large language models do. And I'm now a motivational speaker on the topic. I'm also an AI literate educator. So the transcend of AI in education is phenomenal. What you can do is to try to see how you can adapt to it, right? So let's look at some things that we can look at. It enhances teaching efficiently and effectively. Now, things that you do that takes you 20, 30, 45 minutes with the use of a tool such as ChatGPT and others, it will take you less. Creating lesson plans, creating quizzes, creating evaluations, emails to students, all those things can be done in minimal time, right? And it makes your work a little bit more lighter. Personalized learning creates that atmosphere for the actual learner to get engaged in concepts that they were not really understanding before, right? And prepare students for a tech-driven future. True, because what is happening now is that robotics, the STEM era is coming in. So students is needed to understand the technological things that are happening and make them a little bit more efficient and job ready, right? It empowers educators to innovate and adapt to changing educational landscapes. Yes, you're now put in a space where you can be your own live tutor at your disposal. You have your live tutor at your disposal. It can be your research assistant. It can be your teaching assistant. It can even give you things, create aspects of your content that you didn't even know was out there just by giving it instructions. All right. Now, ChatGPT came out And then there's ChatGPT 4.0. Many persons have this problem because they don't know what the capabilities of this type of thing can do for them. Let me share an insight from something that I think you'll be interested in. Now, this is basically an article from Harvard Business Publishing. I am actually an educated affiliated of them. I'm a registered educator with them. So I actually get most of my sources from this. And this was an article that was put out in January. So it's not that stale. It basically explores how ChatGPT 4.0 has impacted the classroom. You can actually use the tool to create role play. Role play is basically giving a scenario-based information and have the tool student recreate some form of information to make a little concepts a little bit more better for them. It engages the skills of the student to make them think a little bit more better and interpret how things are. Now, one of the things that I find fascinating of it is this little video. Is like you're actually going to be asking it to create a product based on a venture and then give it some guidelines and have it tell you what the product can do in the market. It even can mimic, or we could say, tell you a story. It can be able to translate. So for instance, you are doing a foreign language course and you need to translate information from that particular language. It can translate it, right? So I leave the actual link to this in the description for you to actually go through and see what the dynamics of this particular information can do for you, right? Now, in closing, as we've seen, not just here, the potential of education is revolving, and you have to give yourself time to adapt to the changes. Don't be afraid to embrace this technology. It's here to support you, not to replace you. I tell most of my clients, start small. Look at small things. Then go and look at the resources that are provided and then join in by looking at how these things are used and join a community. I've joined a lot of the AI community on LinkedIn right now. It's some things that I'm learning is phenomenal of what large language model machine language can do for you. Remember now, the future is out there. AI is your partner in creating exceptional educational experiences, not for you only, but for the new generation that you're actually teaching to be the next professor, the next president. Now, we are going to be looking at something different. I want to share my screen again. Now, ChatGPT 4.0. I'm going to share something that it can do. Right? Now, when you get in, this is where you go. Shows you the dynamics of what you can do. So for instance, this page, I'm going to just upload something from my page. Teacher Chronicles 1. That was what we did last night. And that it's attached itself. So it's attached right there. So it's a PowerPoint slide. So I'm going to ask it, right, to analyze the presentation and state if there is any gaps or redundant information given, and then correct this. Then you give it a role. No, this is not the space for it, because I actually coming up with a short course on prompt engineering, how you can be able to give proper instructions to these tools to give you dynamics in your classroom. So make sure that you give it a role. Act as a specialist in communication and digital information technology. All right, so if it is that it's spelled wrong, Grammarly came in, it found it. I'm using Grammarly now. And you see where it can fix all those little errors for you. Right? So it's actually going to I'm using Ginger as well. That's the next one, just the same as Grammarly. So I fed it the information, and it's now going to spit out. So I asked it to look at the presentation and see if there's any redundant information there. If there's any, tell me what it is and then provide the solution for it. It's providing everything now. So how this works for you, if you have, say for instance, a document working with, and you want to know if there's relevant to the topic that you're going to present or anything else, feed the information by attaching it, then give it the instructions on what to do, right? So this is basically how it can make your work a little bit more easier, right? So it told me that definitions are clear, but the example section is slightly redundant. Types of AI slide does not offer enough detail, so I needed to put more detail on the slide. References in CI, but lacks detailed decision on analysis. So I gave the resource in terms of the CNN actual feed into the article, but they needed more resource in terms of what it is. And maybe I've repeated why we need to embrace AI more than once in the presentation. So now it looks at all of it, and then now it's going to correct it, and it corrected. So things like these can give you the edge in what you do, not just your classroom, but basically anything else that you do, right? So I'm going to pause here. Not much persons are online. But a pause here and just tell you thanks for coming. Persons who are in there, other persons who have came in and probably left. I'll be sharing the feed on my YouTube channel as well as my other social media for you to actually see. Tell me your comments. what you want to see the next episodes so I can prepare. All right? So have yourself a wonderful evening and take care.